Alright. Welcome back to the Daily Grind Anthem in-game edition, and welcome to episode 209. Alright, we got a short list for the dailies today, but we'll start off. Looks like we got defeat the minion, get multi-kills, take on a stronghold, and 3 world events. And you know I love flying around in world and free roam. So let's get those world events done first. Because I know if we do the not public event, wrong game. If we do the stronghold, I'm trying to blank. It's the new ones when they added in with the Dominion and multi-kills. We can easily get all that done in one. So, just for the name of it, Sunken Cell. There we go. Couldn't think of that until now. But we want to go into free play. Let's launch. Maybe I'll try audibles. And speaking about the sunken cell, there's the boss for one of them. Or maybe a miniature version of the main boss, but it looks somewhat like it. Hopefully we get some more events back to back. Hopefully there's no lag. No lag on here. No lag in Anthem. No lag in Destiny 2 with the shadow keep going. Day 1. Oh, day 1 was emergency maintenance activate. And we gotta hop back on Borderlands 2. I was hoping to finish it, or at least the story campaign, before Shadowkeep dropped. Yo, Moogle, how's it going?
Good evening.
And welcome to the stream.
Well, good afternoon for you.
Yes, it's the afternoon for me.
System check complete. Looking at relevant com traffic.
It's only 4 o'clock, well, 4:30 in the afternoon for you, but for me it's 7:30 in the evening.
Oh, you have a nice dinner.
Yes, sir, I had manwich. My wife loves me very much.
Well, hopefully I get blessed one day like that.
Yeah. Been kind of an interesting day, man.
How's it going?
Pretty good. I got some sleep. When I woke up, found out that my son had signed up for a social media service we told him he absolutely was not allowed to sign up for. Yesterday while he was sitting on the couch while I was in here trying to enjoy myself, while he was supposed to be reading his book for school. So we had to come up with some nice creative punishments to deal with that. And of course we're going to go back in and delete his account, because no means no. But after that, I don't know if you ever got to play with my friend Shroomy, the streamer I was telling you about.
Not Shroomy. I haven't got a chance to.
Okay. Yeah, anyway, she was experiencing some doubts today, and not just me, but her whole, I think she is, but we as a community were trying to, reassure her that, we are here
The outlaws
for.
have laid claim to this
And
place. We need to stop them. We need
I've
to
been
deal
part
with
of a
this
community
thoroughly.
now for about 6 months, and just like I would for anybody else on my list that I play with regular. I told her, if y'all need to talk, I'm
Another
here.
one. This won't be easy.
Y'all listen to me often enough, so
The outlaws saw their best.
people
Take
like
it
you
down.
are part
Not
of
a
what I
chance.
consider my support system
Clear up
for
the
my
threat
mental
before we do
illness.
anything else.
Y'all are people here that when I want to sit down and talk and play a game or something with,
I'm always here to lend a hand.
take my mind off. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I consider you one of those people, Juice. But it's for me, it's a system in place, that I don't have necessarily in the real world. IRL, as people put it, that can support, my mental illness. But I have that through Xbox Live, thanks to technology today, and I've made some really good friends. I mean, like Spendy. I mean, I've never met him in person, but I know one day I'm gonna have to kill a guy for that man, and I probably wouldn't hesitate.
You are getting the hang of this.
But
Well done.
I mean, I've met some really good people, and they've been super helpful to me as I deal with some things, and I've been there for some other people as they've had some tough times. A buddy of mine, when he used to be a buddy. He had the only close relationship in his life was with his mother, and she got a cancer diagnosis. And he was there for her through that, but chemotherapy triggered either early onset Alzheimer's or dementia. And
Probably more to the
she
dementia
started
side. Yeah.
but either way, she started forgetting who he was. She'd talk about him like he wasn't there. He'd come in and to see her to make sure she's okay, and she'd tell him things like, "You look just like my son. I hope he's doing well." And it broke his heart. He started drinking real heavy, and up until he finally said something that I took a deep issue with. I tried to be there for him as much as he could, and it turned out he was listening all that time. He finally took my advice, got out there and started dating. He actually just got married back in August.
Oh, congratulations to him then.
Yeah, I mean,
And see, that's why I love the friends I have made on here.
yeah, me too. And I mean, I keep making more through things like I said, Mixer. Honestly, totally random, dude. I didn't even mean to get on. I was just super bored one morning. I had been up
Let me
for
check
like
this out. And boom.
I've been like 36 hours, and I didn't want to fool with Twitch because I don't like it. I don't know why. I just don't like the way Twitch is set up. It never takes me where I want to go. It never does what I want it to do. I just don't like Twitch. So I'm like, Beam/Mixer is incorporated into this damn thing. Let's take a look. They forced me to have a tab, so I went and looked under games. And I'm like, you know what? 10.2 is something. I want to see how the graphics look upgraded. I had them on PS3, but it's no Xbox One or PS4. Let's see, what it looks like
Detecting scar swarms, not
pumped
falling
up.
into position.
And she was number one on the list. And I mean, I haven't regretted joining her community. She's been super nice to me. She's
There's a
great
scar
with her
stop
community.
cards.
She's
Stop them
struggling
being
with
used.
some emotional issues herself.
That's one.
She's got
Keep
mental
going.
illness, like a lot of us. And I mean, she's been there to help support me, and
Another one. This
I'm
won't
honored to be
easy.
able to do the same thing for her. I mean, I don't feel bad for 1 minute about having joined the community, because it's a group of people that, even if they're not necessarily into each other, which it turns out most of them,
That'd be the last
a
one.
lot of
Well
them
done.
are in the UK, but they're still as supportive of each other as they can be given
We can't let the
distance.
stars cause more trouble.
Some of them actually know each other in real life. They have met up at some of the conventions there in the UK. As a matter of fact, she's going to one, I think, later this month called EGX, and she's going to meet some of her community there.
Oh,
she can only
community
go
meetup?
for 1 day, but
One day
Yeah.
to meet a bunch of people that like what you do? Dude, that's freaking awesome.
yeah, I mean, it'd be like if I could get to Dragon Con or E3 and meet, you know, some, like if I could get to E3, dude, it'd be cool to stop out there and meet you while I was there.
And I would love to go to Dragon Con over there too. I got some friends on the.
Yeah,
on
I mean,
that
if you ever get to Atlanta, let me know. I will make the 40-minute drive. We will hang out.
site. Definitely.
It'll look weird standing next to a 6'8" brown person.
6'10", but
They're retreating.
Okay, 6'10" brown person. You know, we'll fit right in. You know, the whitest brown boy you've ever seen and the brownest brown boy in Atlanta.
oh, that would be a legendary day.
Yes, it would. I mean, I've met some of the other people on my list. I don't know if you've played with Bacon, but he lives
think
in
you got played with
Monroe,
Bacon
just on
once
the
or
other
twice.
side of Atlanta. Yeah, I know him for real. I have for many years now. I met him playing Gears back in '08. And, you know, we've hung out. He's come spent the night at my house. He's worked on my mom's computer because, you know, she asked. I know him.
What's some computers?
Say what?
Nah, I imagine your mom's like, you know anybody that knows how to work on computers? Need a little help.
That's exactly what happened. I took him down there to meet her, and she's like, what do you do for a living? And he's like, I work on computers. And then she was like, well, you know, I've been having this problem. And he was cool about it and just said, let me take a look. I've met a couple other guys that I may not necessarily be close to anymore, but, you know, I've met. They're part of my community. You know, if they ever reach back out, I would love to be a part of their community again. But in the meantime, I have, you know, worked hard to not necessarily replace them, but find another community where I fit in. I met the Savior playing Mass Effect 3, and in turn he led me to you and some of the others. And while I didn't necessarily gel with some members of that community, you know, you and a couple of others, I did kind of like, you know, keep hanging around with, because y'all were into more than just the Mass Effect scene. Or not Mass Effect, Destiny scene. Yeah, like the Mass Effect scene for you and a couple of others. You know?
Let's take it back.
Like your friend Uzi. He's pretty cool. I mean, I wouldn't say that like we're besties now. I told him he's gonna be though. He watches archery like I do.
You
know,
find
he's
out
on
a lot of
disability.
common interests within certain groups and certain people that play games, and I find it insane. I started doing it like as a like the way this like to know people, or like start off with like a little joke. I'm like, and I usually say, hey, I bet you one of your favorite soft drinks is a Dr. Pepper, and 8 out of 10. It's
not my favorite, but I drink it.
Yeah.
But then again, I'll drink just about anything that's not alcohol.
Same here.
There are certain fruits that I don't like mango, grapefruit. There's some dragon fruit stuff my wife has I don't care for. And I won't drink coffee. Which is ironic because like Dannon used to make this cappuccino flavored yogurt that I loved, but I can't stand coffee itself.
All right, are you really like
I'd rather drink
or something?
freshly distilled urine than.
I don't like mango either. Even though I'm like, dude, you're Latino. I'm like, it's not bred into my DNA. To me, it's overly sweet.
Yeah.
Some dragon fruits. There's only one.
It's not
strain I like.
overly sweet. I just don't care for the taste. It tastes too much like grapefruit.
Yeah.
And I don't like grapefruit at all. It's sour as crap. Love orange juice. I love the orange pineapple banana that Dole makes.
I'll have orange and pineapple, but no banana. I'm allergic to banana.
Okay, well, you know, I can't help that you're allergic to banana. I'm not,
I
so
know.
I like the orange pineapple banana.
I like dropping that info every
And
time
Dole-
with my friends at Jamba Juice. That leaves me to 2 drink options only. It's the orange dream machine and something else.
Love Fanta. I know it's like a stereotypical Mexican thing, but I like the
Fanta,
strawberry.
Fanta. Don't you like that Fanta?
Yep.
I like the
The
orange.
green apple is amazing. Have you tried the fresh green apple one? It tastes like fizzy apple juice.
Yeah. It kind of tastes like this
I love
other drink. It's kind of like a ginger ale, but it's made with
Sparkling
apple.
cider.
So yeah, something like sparkling cider. But it's like a sweet
Yeah.
apple. What was it? Manzanita or something like that. I can't remember the name, but there's multiple brands. Ooh, legendary General's
Yeah.
favorite. Oh, I needed this.
Sweet.
You.
But yeah, honestly, the one that gets me is that so many people out there, what I connect with isn't necessarily a favorite drink, but mental illness, honestly. A lot of people, they ask, what do you do? Well, I'm a stay-at-home dad. So what does that mean? Well, I'm on disability. What for? And then I say, and if they don't necessarily have a mental illness, they know someone else who does. And it's that thing about if more people would speak up about it, there would be more support in the communities. I mean, because right now it's a huge stigma to be mentally ill. If I had lost a leg, everybody would understand and nobody would look at me twice. There are support groups, there are hospitals. Disability would be no problem. They'd be bending over backwards. I wouldn't have to worry about this whole thing about are you still disabled that they're hitting me with now. There is no medical improvement because the leg doesn't grow back.
Nope,
but I'm
you just
fighting
get
with the
prosthetic.
government. Yeah, but even
and
then,
they keep changing,
it's not like...
They keep changing, what is it? Not the description, but like
I qualified because what they said is that I'm medically improved enough to go back to work. And they might technically be right. I'm not going to admit that because, it undermines my case. But the fact is that this doesn't go away.
No, it's
what
forever,
I've got
dude.
is forever. Yeah. And if they take me off disability, I lose my insurance. And there is no replacing that for any kind of job or I could get realistically. There is no replacement for my Medicaid. And all that medical improvement they're saying I have would just go backwards.
Yeah.
And then I'd be back to applying for
one.
disability and starting. Yep, and reapplying for disability. And of course, because I'm ready to chew through somebody's bra strap to get to their heart, because they're fat piggy bastards in Washington, I'd win. I'd get back on disability. And then, I would just decide not to get treatment for my condition. Because why bother?
And they'll send you back to square one again. It's just full circle.
No. As long as I don't get treatment for my condition, there's nothing they can do. When the time comes around, are you medically improved? No. Why not? Well, the last time I got help, went to therapy, all this, and what happened is you took away my insurance. So, why bother using it? Instead, I'd rather just sit at home and collect my check and make sure that I don't wind up in trouble.
And that's just harder what it sounds like, too. Because,
yeah.
with all the multiple conditions people have and all that, it is troublesome.
Yeah, I mean, I've already been arrested 7 times. No, I've been arrested 9 times and convicted 7 times of family violence.
And you can't help that because of your condition.
Actually, I probably could have. It's a mixture of my condition and my family's. All the fights for family violence, I never laid a hand on my wife or my son. It was my sisters before I even met my wife.
Yeah, I remember your
And the worst part about it is that I never beat them up. I got convicted because I defended myself because they were kicking my ass. All I did was grab a hold of them, except for, no, there was one time I did deserve it, I'm not going to lie. I nearly choked one of my sisters to death. But the rest of the times, I've got witnesses to the fact that I was just trying to keep them off of me. But because I put hands on them and then admitted it to the cops, I was guilty of family violence. They got away scot-free. Welcome to the South. Another guy, while I was there, a guy came in with like deep furrows in his face. You can see the piece of a broken nail in one of them. His girlfriend had attacked him while she was high because he grabbed her wrist to pull her fingers out of his face. He went to jail, and because he was on a probation for drugs for weed conviction, they violated his probation and convicted him of battery. So he wound up getting the 6 months he had left on his probation and another 6 months for the battery. She came in naked, screaming, had to be pepper sprayed and put in the restraint chair, handcuffed.
Dude.
And she went. No, this was his girlfriend, and she went home. She went home free. She bonded out, and I heard later from somebody else that she walked home from court. You know, nothing gone because he touched her.
Just by point.
Because he stopped her. Because he stopped her from, you know, basically permanently.
To me, the guy was about to get
scarring
fish. Was it fish hook? That one term.
I
To
don't
me, it
know,
sounds like she was
it
going
was
straight
bad.
for his eyes. It was like clawing the face.
She had. I mean, that dude scarred for life.
Yeah.
Her finger.
What was
She
it
had
like?
those fake fingernails, and they were dug into his face.
Damn.
And yeah, I mean that's how it is down here. I mean, at least in places like California and New York, if we start fighting, if you hit me and then I hit you, we're both going to jail. You know? If, like in the state of California, if my wife hauls off and hits me, and then I grab a hold of her to stop her from doing it again or hit her back, we're both going to jail. You know?
Equal opportunity.
Yep. What, son? Through Mass Effect. Yes.
Low jumping around, dropping these arcs too.
But yeah, like I said, either way. Mental illness connects so many people. Because if you don't have it yourself, you know someone who does. And, I mean, they've even got commercials about it on TV and all. Like, people who contemplate suicide have no support network. They suffer in silence. And if half these kids that are killing themselves in school or at home these days if they would reach out, you know?
You still gotta be careful what you say now, streaming. And even mentioning that stuff gets you freaking striked.
Oh, I'm sorry, but it's just a case of if they could reach out to someone, you know, instead of suffering in silence, maybe it could be prevented. I'm not trying to bust up your stream, man. I'm just
saying, I know. Well, but there's easier ways to word that. But always checking on the mental state of it, people, or what's another way to say it? Just being there, just not letting them suffer in silence. That's what the best way you were saying it right now.
yeah. You don't even necessarily have to come up with a solution or do something about it. You just have to listen. Let them know that, you know, you care enough to listen and that you're there for them.
Just knowing someone just to be there in the help place, it does wonders. And trust me, when my dad got sick, it's when D1 first came out. I spent like 12 hours a day on the side of the hospital bed, gaming at night, and just having friends like there just to help me ease the grind, be there, and just have someone to chat with.
Yeah. And I mean, it probably would have meant a lot if somebody had just been there for you.
I think some friends were.
Well, that's good. Because again, something like the illness of a relative can...
It hurts.
It's not just that it hurts, I mean...
Just
it can,
having support.
it's like the death of
helps.
a family member. It can bring you down enough that you start making bad life choices.
Yeah.
You don't mean for it to, but it does.
No, because remember 2 years ago when I lost 2 aunts to cancer, and dude, it put the whole family's spirits down. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Dude, quit standing on that.
But yeah, no, I'm sorry about the... If it gets you in trouble, I apologize. But once again, it's that thing. If you didn't do stupid things about it, like poking bodies in forests, and instead did things like, you know, talk to people before something bad happens,
Or
maybe it wouldn't do things like get you in trouble.
That's
Yeah.
what we have. That's one thing with common sense, and you would never do stupid shit like that.
Or even cared enough to think about how it would affect other people in his, for lack of a better term, profession.
Yeah.
You know, without getting too political, I could say that about certain people in government right now. If they
say
think
that
about how
about a
it's
lot
going
of
to
people.
affect the next guy to come along. I'm just saying, if you think about certain people in government right now and how they're going to affect the next people to get the job, it doesn't look good in the long run.
Shipper energy's intensifying.
That's how dictatorships accidentally get started.
True.
Because the next guy seems like utter bliss compared to the last guy, so you're willing to do anything that he asked not to make it like it was before.
What's going on with
And,
these colored tubes?
you know, it starts off with things like, you know,
It's a floor.
well, okay, well, we're going to implement this program to,
Science.
you know, to ease up your fears here. And next thing you know, it turns into, well, kind of like it is now, where they have people living in detention centers at the southern border. Or like World War II, where they had the Japanese, and, you know, they weren't supposed to be in, it wasn't supposed to be concentration camps, they were just internment camps. But because, you know, they were Japanese American, they got rounded up whether they liked it or not. I'm not going to put your business out there, but other people have had the same problem about, you know, living in states where there are a lot of
Minorities.
Hispanic people and getting, you know, confused for people who, you know what I mean?
Yep.
They get marginalized. And it's horrible that it happens. But yeah, man. I mean,
That's the life we live today.
I-
You got the good stuff, you got the bad.
yeah. But I'm just saying, if more people would calmly talk about what's wrong, then more stuff could be done. And that goes from everything to the racial issues dividing our country, to the mental illness problem, to the wealth problem. I mean, it's like right now, just news out there. 6,000 people in Mexico lost their jobs because the GM workers went on strike here in America because they were getting their wages lowered and their benefits taken away. Also, I mean, the Auto Workers Union is tired of jobs being outsourced to other countries. And you can't blame them. Now even cars with foreign sounding names are made, you know, here in parts of America. Or at least they're assembled here. Half of the jobs they used to do here are being outsourced. And then they're being imported in with little to no tax. Because they're American companies and it's still their product. So they're paying, you know, pennies on the dollar to get it in. When if it, on the other hand, if it was coming from a foreign company, you know, to one of their divisions here, they'd be paying through the nose for import and customs taxes. But more stream appropriate, we were talking about video game moments last night. And you know, I may have changed some minds about a hot topic. Which had the better story, Fallout 3 or Fallout 4?
Well, they do have their good key points, and to me, I kind of feel and lean towards story.
And that's the general consensus, but again, here's my point. As far as story goes, 3 had the better gameplay overall just because it wasn't reused. It was fresh when it first came out. And the DLC was overall of better quality and quantity than what Fallout 4 got. But in defense of Fallout 4, Fallout 3 didn't have any major moments that made you question. A guy said he didn't even finish Fallout 4 because when he got as far as having to choose between the Institute and the other factions, he couldn't make that moral choice, so he just quit playing because he didn't know what to do.
Quitter.
Fallout 3 never had a moment like that.
Well, in Fallout 3, I mean, it was more in between. Like
you could choose to be bad, but even you could be as bad as you want.
You could be bad as you want and all that,
but
there
in
was
the
somewhat
end,
of
you
a
still saved the capital wasteland.
Yeah, but that's good for all mankind on there, or all survivors in the wasteland. But for me, there was somewhat of a choice between the Brotherhood and the Enclave.
I was never able to join up with the Enclave. It never offered me.
No, you gotta seek them out. There's certain ways to do it. But they literally had like you got into the Enclave and the Brotherhood. I think one of them was. I'm not sure there was a spy mission or something. I'm trying to remember, man. It's been a few years.
Yeah. But I never knew you could join the Enclave. I was never able to find anything like that. I knew you could blow up Megaton, which was like, I guess, a huge moral decision. But even then, it wasn't one that but it didn't ultimately affect the course of the game.
But
on the other hand, your choice between the Institute and any other faction does affect the rest of the game. Companions live and die based on that decision.
Yeah.
An entire area possibly gets nuked. I don't know what happens to the airport where the airship is for the Brotherhood, but I'm assuming that it doesn't end well when the Institute attacks.
And no, it does not.
And then And then as far as DLC goes, I will admit, people still talk about things like Mothership Zeta and the aliens. But does Fallout 3 offer anything close to the experience of Nuka World, where you get to be a raider and terrorize the wasteland?
But here's the fun part. Not majorly, like, official DLCs, no. But the modding community on the PC, oh, dude, your imagination was endless. And there was mods out there.
But again, as you pointed out, that's modding for both games.
That's a little niche you gotta go into, and, like, you could be a raider. There's, like, alternate stars. I know there's a Skyrim version and a Fallout version to it. Oh, man, that was so awesome.
Yeah, and I won't disagree with that, but again, you're talking about fan-made additions to the game.
Yeah, but
I'm talking about
official.
what the developers... I was talking about what the developers intended and released for the game itself. I'm talking about official expansions. Because if you want to go into modding, I mean, come on. I mean, in that case, you can't even count either one of the Fallout games, really, or Skyrim. You've got to start going into things like where Warcraft ended up as 2 whole other games. Technically 3 if you count the fact that they branched some of the extras over into Overwatch. You got World of Warcraft from Warcraft. You got Dota from Warcraft mod. From the MOBA scene, they got the idea for a team-based shooter, you know, which was technically, I guess, like a copy of a copy. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds came from a guy creating a Battle Royale mod for the game Arma 2. DayZ was the same thing.
Yeah,
people created a survival horror mod. I mean, like I said, if you want to start going into the modding community, there are mods out there that have created whole new games.
Let's see, can we get this switch now?
And in that case also, you're talking about PC versus console too, is where it comes down to. Because PC has 1,000,000 times more mods than console does. Because console only allows non-licensed content, whereas PC, anything goes.
Well, PC is all on you, man, because you're the end user. You're the one that's installing it.
But I'm saying, like, have you ever seen the Zoidberg mod for Skyrim?
Yeah.
Where it turns all the mud crabs into Zoidbergs?
Yeah. My favorite one's the one that they also gives them the monocle on top hat. I think someone actually combined the Zoidberg with that one too. Elegant Zoidberg or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But like I said, now if you're going to start including modding communities, I mean that at that point you're also just starting the flame war between PC versus
I know, I'm turning
console.
something from grand to grandeur, yeah. But let's stick back. To me, I have a lot of memories because I think I put more time in Fallout 3 than Fallout 4. Because, yeah, the modding situation and all that, but I really love the DLCs they have for Fallout 3. There's also a lot of nostalgia because the first one I played was Fallout 3.
Well, of course, that's why they're numbered. But see, for me, the nostalgia isn't a factor because I tried Fallout 3 the first time on PS3, and I got lost and stuck in the subway with the fire ants and decided I didn't like the game. I wasn't even going to try it again.
You're like, fuck that shit, I'm out.
Yep, pretty much. I kept the game because it came in a collectible lunchbox with a bobblehead. But when we moved back from Ohio, I wound up having to leave it all behind. All my lunchboxes and my collectibles and all that. Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah, because I probably had $300 or $400 worth of collectibles and like probably $6,000 or $8,000 worth of books that all got left behind. Not to mention my wife, like her mom's antique jewelry box and My mom's jewelry got left behind, and some other stuff. When we moved, unfortunately, it left a sour taste in both our mouths.
I can imagine.
But all that's like in the past type thing. But yeah, Fallout 3 left a bad taste in my mouth to start with, and it was only because people kept saying, well, you know, did you try this, or did, you know, you go here
this,
first?
did
And I
that.
was like
do
for
that?
instance, I never found Megaton until
when?
I never found Megaton until I played on 360. When I came out the first time, I wound my way over to the empty town to the left instead of going straight forward to Megaton. And from there, I made my way down to the subway and the fire ants. You know, that come with real fire. Yeah, and exactly, and because I got stuck there, completely out of ammo, and out of health packs, and surrounded, and was either gonna have to start over or figure out how to get out of the mess I was in, I decided I didn't like the game. I was gonna quit. But again, a lot of my Gears friends were like, "No, man, no. Get it on 360. Try again. You know, this is what you need to try." So I took their advice and tried again. And don't get me wrong, even though I haven't played a lot of the DLC from Fallout 3 because I didn't have it till the Game of the Year disc, and by then Xbox One was out and I was hip deep in Destiny. Fallout 3 was enjoyable. But on the other hand, for Fallout 4, I bought it day one with the season pass. And while I haven't been through all of the DLC, I did go straight through the game, one playthrough from start to finish, thoroughly enjoying myself and discovering the wasteland. And moments like where you try and save the Deathclaw babies. You know, you're being chased by a Deathclaw, but you're actually trying to save their eggs from poachers to, you know, continue the species of ravenous monsters in the wasteland. And total moment. Fighting the Super Deathclaw in Salem. Total moment. Entering the nuclear waste. The actual still irradiated nuclear waste outside of Boston. Total moment that Fallout 3 didn't have. Yeah. Watching the bombs fall in Fallout 3. Again, total moment. Because
being there when the bombs
getting
getting into the vault.
Yeah.
That was an awesome moment in the beginning, and that still gives me chills.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit! You imagine being there day one when they drop, waking up, 200
and the
years
whole
later,
world as you know it is
gone.
And the whole world as you know it is just gone.
Just gone.
And I mean, then there's things again like the moment where you find out that you missed your son's whole life, and what to you was a matter of minutes.
No, it was just a blink of the eye. Your son was taken, and boom, his whole life is gone. You're not there for his whole life.
Yeah, he grew up calling somebody else dad. And then, of course, Fallout 3 did have a moment when Liberty Prime became active and stomped through DC. But I think Fallout 4 did it better when it nuked the Institute.
Oh, yeah. If you join the Brotherhood or... Brotherhood, I think...
Yeah, I joined the Brotherhood.
So Railroad, you sabotage the nuclear reactor in the Institute to cause it to blow up, and that's a good explosion too.
Yeah.
What else? Is there another faction? I'm trying to think.
Hold on. Hold on.
What was the other thing? I know these. with the Institute, you go and raid the other two places. And I believe the Institute also does, was it an orbital strike onto the airship? But let me ask you this: did you ever play New Vegas? Because between 3 and 4, I like New Vegas the best. And I know that one had multiple endings with multiple side characters, and the side characters on there were freaking awesome and crazy. What was that one that they called her the Rose? What was the name of that one that was used to be part of the Brotherhood? She really wanted a dress. And
Veronica.
Veronica, there we go. She's the one with the
yes,
power
I
fist?
played New Vegas, but yes. But on the other hand, New Vegas also wasn't made by Bethesda. It was made by Obsidian.
Mm-hmm.
It was set in what is now Bethesda's world because they bought the rights and created the most recent games. But New Vegas is the redheaded stepchild, and in some ways it was a lot better, and in some ways it was worse.
But I say they kind of like.
The only way I think it was worse. The only way I think it was worse than both 3 and 4 is that the first 2 DLCs were kind of short and but the big MT, and then of course Lonesome Road where you met the last courier number 6?
I think it was Lonesome Road, yeah, because you follow him.
Yeah, those 2 were amazing. I never even got to finish Lonesome Road because I'm stuck in Deathclaws.
I'm trying to remember.
Fallout 3, every DLC was a hit, and Fallout 4, all of the story DLC was amazing. Whereas, Random Hearts and Dead Money weren't really that appetizing, in my opinion, for New Vegas.
I think, was it Dead Money the one that you went to that national park?
No, that's Random Hearts.
With Zion, right?
Where you meet the Burned Man?
Yeah, that's the one I was trying to think
where
of.
you meet the Burned Man?
Yeah. It'd be a tough pass through that cavern, but you gotta leave your stuff here and only take the essentials. Still remember that part. But I think
and like I said,
that Lonesome Road was pretty awesome. Because there was a pretty...
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the one you could get that...
Nothing else, it was a challenge. It really...
Oh, what was the name of that armor? It had the Duster Cloak and it had like a license plate as a shoulder. It's kind of like similar to the riot gear. What's the name of it? It's the dude's wearing the armor in the intro for New Vegas, and he has the Sequoia revolver. He has the
You're
red
talking
eyes.
about the New Republic power armor.
It's not power armor. It's
Yeah, it is. It's power armor, but it's like scout armor, power armor.
something like that. It's just basically the helmet, and they have like a.
It's not the heavy. It's a set of power armor, but it's not like the heavy duty, like
the
shock
Brothers,
troop one that you normally get. It's not the T-51. It's something else. But as it goes, Lonesome Road, when you find out that Courier number 6 basically knew that he was going to wind up dead and instead passed the job on to you, and when he finds out you survived, challenges you to a showdown on the Lonesome Road.
Oh, dude, it was the NCR Ranger combat armor. There was a unique set you could get.
There you go. The combat armor. Yeah.
Man, those are fun times.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta make me a set of that Ranger combat armor. I love that armor. And I think New Vegas had like a choice before you even started the game. Like a certain perk. Was it Wild West? What was it? Because I know if you choose one, you couldn't get a certain weapon, either or. And I remember you had to choose one, and I think it was either aliens show up for the blaster, or it was someone that stole a unique Gauss rifle. It was like the Y86 something. Dude, that was like my favorite weapon in the whole damn game. I wanted to be like the scientist sniper type of thing.
Yeah.
I think I still got the saves for that.
Talking
Game.
about Arcade Gannon?
No, the way I did my character build out.
Oh.
No, but
Yeah.
the sniper, it was like a Y86. It was a Gauss rifle. Let's see if I could actually look it up and find out the real name. What was it? The YCS 186. There we go. And that one has, you had to pick a certain perk in the beginning of the game before you even started. But anyway, I blabber on. Give me a second.
Bye.
Alright, if you guys enjoy the awesome chat, gaming stuff and all that, I'll do more of that. But for now, that's it for the daily grind here on Anthem. We're moving on to the next game. So do what you guys do best. Hit me up with a comment down below. Leave a like. Don't forget to share the video. I really appreciate if you do. If you're catching that replay back on my YouTube channel, you know what to do there. Hit that sub and notification button right there. Or if you're watching it live on Twitch, you guys are amazing of doing. Make sure you hit that follow button. I stream every night on the daily. But until then, I'll see you in the next one. And thanks for